Sorry, this is part 3. I accidentally hit the wrong stinking stop and start button because I got a computer and a phone and a video camera. So this is going to be part 3. I'm just going to go ahead. I meant to hit resume on this video when I hit the damn one filming.
Right to Valencia. 33 on that injured. I almost got ran over by the car. He took off on me. I discharged 1 round. Struck the male in the head.
He wants to talk on the radio. Not good. Not good. At first he said he was dragged. Now he said the guy almost ran him over. He means the same thing, but he's not thinking clearly. He's upset. He's trying to remember, but there's a lot going through his mind right now. So he's already given 2 inconsistent statements now that the defense is going to be able to say, well, in the first part of the video, you said you were dragged, but not 5 minutes later, you said the guy almost ran you over. And the cop's going to say, well, what I meant run me over is he was dragging me, and if I'd have let go, I would have got run over. Oh, sure, that's what you meant, officer. Because later on, he's going to say he's dragged again. So this guy got on the radio, which is normal. He said he shot the guy once in the head. He fired his gun. He almost got run over. Nobody's telling this guy, taking this guy under their wing and saying, dude, don't get on the radio. Don't talk to anybody. If you're okay, we're going to sit you down. They keep asking him if he wants medical, and he keeps saying no because he don't want to be a pussy and say, I'm hurt. So cops are macho anyway. We don't like to go to doctors and go get medical anyway. And so this guy isn't thinking clearly, so he turns down medical probably 3 or 4 times. Toward the end, he finally says, yeah, I'm going to go get checked out. And I think because some guys gave him some clues. But when you're involved in this, there's several reasons you want to get a medical clearance. One, you want documents of any scratches, abrasions. Somebody should be taking a picture of this guy, and nobody takes a picture of him. When you get on scene and there's been an officer involved in the use of force as critical as that man's involved in a homicide, you want to take pictures or video. I want pictures of this guy's boots where it dragged on the ground. I want his pants torn. I want any blood. I want to show that there's no bruising right now because the next day I'm going to take more pictures of him when it takes 24 hours for the bruising to start, and I'm going to show all the bruising that he's had. So when they go, when you took these pictures, do you notice any injuries? Yeah, he had several internal bruising, but it didn't show up till the next day or for 3 days. Same thing when you get a domestic violence. If you take a picture of a woman on the day they get beat up, they're not going to look near as bad as if you go back in 2 or 3 days and take another picture because the bruising and swelling and everything is fitting in. So if you're doing a domestic violence case and you want to make it a good case and you want to put the guy away because he's a jerk and he's beating up women, then you need to commit that my investigation isn't over this night. The next day I need to go revisit her, get copies of reports, etc. I'm getting in a DV investigation. I'm getting off my homicide. Anyway, nobody takes a picture of this dude, and I just think that's a huge missed opportunity for good evidence. Said something about getting run over. Still trying to justify.
Can't reach for anything. Stand back! Stand back!
Now he's directing the crime scene because all these other units showing up haven't put up any tape. When you know there's a dead body, somebody needs to grab tape out of their damn car and run some tape. You can always move the tape and make the crime scene bigger or smaller. But you need to get tape up immediately around a crime scene to stop looky-loos, stop people from walking in, to stop cops from driving through, to stop traffic from driving through. Instead of this guy worrying about other cars, he should be sitting in a car somewhere. One of these officers standing around looking with their mouth open ought to be saying, dude, relax, we got it from here, have a seat. Keep him out of it. He should not be involved in this investigation anymore.
I just got tangled in the car. I thought I was going to run over.
Again, I thought he was going to run over. You need to realize this guy's mind is going so fast he has to do something. It is very hard when you're in fight or flight and you get that adrenaline pump to do nothing. That's why, I mean, there's been several times that I've been on high-risk incidents where I would go for a jog up the street. Guys would look at me like, where the fuck is Gore going? And I'd say, man, I'll be right back. I need to go for a little run. And I would take a run up the street, and I would turn around and jog back, and I would get rid of some of that energy. I would use that adrenaline that I have because I want it out of my system. I want my muscles to use that so it's not just hanging around me, causing me other issues. This guy is full of adrenaline. He was running, he was dragged, he was shooting. I just can't stress enough. Take care of officers who are involved in this and realize they're not thinking clearly.
Stay back!
Here comes a car driving through the crime scene.
He took off on me, man.
Here comes other cars. See that car right back there? That just pulled. See these cars? Remember that casing that I was talking about? It'd be nice to have. Guess what? That's in between some tire right now that's going to be flying off on a highway and we're never going to find a casing. And the defense is going to say, yeah, sure, you fired one round. We didn't find that casing. How do we know you fired 14 rounds and you hit all the casings? That casing is a critical part of this case and nobody's thinking of that. Nobody's thinking crime scene yet. You got a bunch of cops standing around just kind of like, oh shit, there's a dead guy. Man, I don't want to do anything wrong. I don't want to get... Nobody's taking control of this crime scene. Okay, so that cop's going to block that stereo off. This guy is standing here. You can hear him.
Okay, he was just dragging me. I thought I was going to get run over. I was trying to stop him.
Another statement. He was dragging me. I thought I was going to get run over. The other officer said, I saw that. Okay, now that's a good statement from the other officer. We don't know who it is. We don't know if he's going to say that in his statement. Hopefully it's consistent when they interview him. Hopefully we know who that officer is. But they're still kind of showing up officers, and I'm still kind of confused on whose jurisdiction this is. I'm thinking it's the dark blue uniforms. I'm not sure who these light gray uniforms are. But it looks like the dark blue uniforms are the one that's going to take over this crime scene when they have 14 sergeants.
Over here.
Bad move. This guy is looking at this and he is working himself up that how bad this is. Oh my God, he's dead. Oh my God, am I going to get charged? Oh my God, am I going to get fired? Oh no, I got a baby on the way. Am I going to lose my... This guy is working himself up and nobody's helping him. Nobody's moving him. You don't need to be staring at dead bodies after you shoot somebody. I mean, shit, when I shot 2 dogs, they wanted me to help move them. I go, man, I can't. I feel like shit. I don't want to move those dogs. I was feeling bad. It'd be like, hey man, why don't you pull that guy out of the car so we can get a chalk line around him. The guy just shot the guy. Somebody help him out and get him out of this crime scene and look out for him so you can preserve his memory, evidence. I mean, things are happening now. It's kind of changing his perception of things. His heart rate's still up.
Huh? You're not going to be able to go past the car, but go.
You hear all the sirens?
Somebody switch to 4 and 5 then? No. We're in 4 right now.
Okay, they're talking about I'm in 4. I think they're talking about beats on what beat they're in or what jurisdiction they're in.
4? We're in 4. We're east of Vine Street, yeah. Oh, I thought he was going to run me over.
Again, I thought he was going to run me over. He keeps saying that. And I mean, that's going to be good for the prosecution to say, look, the guy said it 14 times he thought he was going to be run over. So it's not the end of the world, but again, dude, sit in a car, get you some water. When you go into fight or flight, your lips dry up. You stop producing saliva because your digestive system shuts down. All the blood rushes from your gut and your mouth, and you don't need saliva. So your mouth and lips get very dry. You need to get some water in you. You need to get your heart rate down, and you need to cool off. And you don't do that by standing around making comments.
He was dragging me. Yeah, he took off on me. My hand was caught inside.
Okay, another statement. My hand was caught inside. Now, was it caught inside or did you stick it inside? The defense is going to hear this and go, isn't it true you grabbed the steering wheel and you could have let go? What was it caught on if it was caught? You said it was caught. Well, I didn't mean it was caught. When I reached in there for the license, it went between the steering wheel and I knew if I let go, I'd go under the rear tire. So you weren't caught. You made a false statement. Is that what you're telling me, officer? That's how things get muddied up, and that's how juries start saying, man, I'm not really sure what happened. This officer did make a lot of inconsistent statements, and he made a lot of comments, and the defense really made good points on this. The guy is in stress mode right now.
Yeah, I fired one round. I'm firing, just got caught in the steering wheel or something. Stay back! Stay back!
He's still directing his crime scene. Then you got all these officers standing around. That's a big problem. When I worked in this one agency, they finally got tired of cops showing up. To every time somebody was killed or something, every unit would want to come by. The units would park, and I did it too. We'd park, we'd go in, see the dead body, see the crime scene, see what a bucket it was, and then we'd leave. And whether it's a morbid curiosity, whether it's a gaining experience, whether it's whatever the reason is, it's just normal for cops to want to go to crime scenes. And the only way to stop it is this agency made a policy. From now on, if you show up to a crime scene, you gotta cut a supplement. You gotta write paper. There's nothing more that a cop hates after writing pounds and miles of paper in their career. The last thing they want to do is cut paper. That makes them a witness. That means it's going to screw up their time off. It's going to screw up their vacation. They can get called to court. They're going to have to write a statement and turn it in. Cops don't want to write paper. As soon as they made this policy, if you show up to a crime scene, you got to cut paper, suddenly nobody showed up to a crime scene unless you were dispatched. Because they knew when they got there, they were going to have to cut paper. Good policy, I think.
You're good. You're good. Just stay back. Go in.
Sirens are still coming. This is a long time. Guy's shaking his hand. You see his hand shaking over here? He's trying to get blood.
Inside, sir. Go back inside.
Still directing people. He's controlling the crime scene.
God, he's dragging me, man.
Yeah. You good?
I'm good. I just got my hand and my arm caught inside.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm dragging me. I was caught. I'm good. Again, somewhat of inconsistent statements. They seem pretty consistent. I think I don't think the guy's lying here. He's making statements, but his memory may be coming back, or he's remembering more as he's calming down. He's not thinking about surviving and not getting killed.
Damn. I think I'm okay.
We went from I'm okay to I think I'm okay. You hear him breathing hard. He's getting probably a little bit of lost balance. Maybe his hearing's coming back. Maybe his tunnel vision's going away. Maybe his heart rate's going down. He's probably still hot as shit. He still hasn't had any water. He's still kind of got all that adrenaline in him. He's shaking his hand. You saw his hand shaking. All these things indicate he's in this post-fight or flight mode, and that's not a good time to be making statements, controlling a crime scene, making decisions that could impact this investigation. Sounds like I'm cracking on this guy, and I'm really not. I'm trying to educate people if you show up to a crime scene on why things are going to happen, and maybe if you're ever on a jury, you can understand on why a cop did what he did and why it was done that way and what might be going through his head.
What was he reaching for?
He kept reaching around. I told him to step out of the car. He's going to produce a license. So that's when he put it in drive and started taking off. I reached in.
See this statement? He didn't. When I was explaining this, I was explaining a whole lot of inconsistencies from this tape, and his definition was he was kind of just kept reaching around, asked for his license, asked him to get off, and he took off. That doesn't sound nearly as good as the things that I was saying at the beginning here. So again, if you're investigating and I'm taking a statement from this guy, I've got to ask him these questions. Was there anything that was suspicious? Did it seem suspicious that he took a long time to stop? Did it seem suspicious that he said he had a license 3 times and he didn't? I mean, you kind of have to talk somebody through, just like a witness who was raped, or a victim who was raped, or a witness who was in a robbery or a killing, or a witness to a domestic violence. You have to help witnesses remember and recall things that they may not think is important. So you ask them questions to jog their memory and to get facts. That's what this guy needs. He doesn't need to be making just things up as he talks and making all these little inconsistent things. I don't think he's lying again, and I don't think he's trying to be deceptive, but the defense is going to be able to paint that picture.
And then I shot one round at him. He took off on me. I got my hand caught in the car.
What, was your hand caught in the car, or was it caught in the steering wheel? Or did you grab the steering wheel? Because a few minutes ago, you said he almost ran you over, and then you said you were caught. You just see how this can get played out in a courtroom, and I'm doing it now, and it may not sound that great, but when an attorney's asking these questions, he's being all serious, and he's got this confused look on his face, and he implies to the jury that, does that make sense to you? Because it don't make sense to me.
I almost got ran over by him.
This guy says, shut up and don't say anything. Good for you, dude. He's the first guy, but he wasn't clear enough. He took his glasses off. He's looking at the body. He's more concerned about the crime scene, looking at it, than he is about protecting this officer. When he held his hand up, he should have said, dude, you're stressed. I really don't want you making a statement till we ask you questions. Just catch your breath. Let's get you cooled down and get you some water. Nobody's taking care of this officer, and that kind of irritates me because it's just not fair to the officer. How many people's come and gone out of this crime scene? Anybody keeping a log? When you have a crime scene, everybody that enters and leaves should be signed in and signed out so we know how long they were there. So if it gets called in court later, we have a log.
Got dragged by him.
Again, I got
inside. Car.
gave another statement to another officer. Now we got another officer as a witness. Isn't it true that he told you he got dragged? Isn't it true he told you that he almost got ran over? When he told you he got dragged, did he tell you he was caught?
Somebody go off down right.
How many people's walking through this crime scene?
I think I'm okay.
You all right?
Yeah, he drugged me in his car.
Okay.
Copy, flashing right.
Yes.
And still and right. 42 right, take right and east.
You need medical.
I think I'm okay. I just got, I barely missed the tires, so I'm okay.
I think I'm okay, are you sure? Dude, you're not thinking clearly. You need medical. If not for you, for our investigation to document any scratches, scraps, torn uniform, bruising, non-bruising, abrasions, you need to see medical. And I want photographs. Again, as an investigator, those are things that I want.
Sure, you don't need medical.
I could check that anyways. Wouldn't hurt. I mean, my left arm hurts a little bit on the other side. So.
Officer, isn't it true that you said you were okay on the scene and you didn't need medical? Yes, sir. Well, didn't you say that he dragged you and you thought he was going to run you over, but you weren't hurt? Well, I was upset and I was nervous and I was giving statements and I don't really remember, and I might have said that, but I didn't feel the pain till later, and it just doesn't look good.
We're
We're going to have a lot of officers here. Do you want me to take him?
Go ahead.
How many people's walked by this car, people? Anybody got a log on every officer that went up to this car?
From the truck, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Registration comes back.
He's coming south on Vine.
That's your weapon?
Place valid. No current
Came south on Vine from McMillan. He had no front license plate on his car. I pulled out behind him. I lit him up down here at Vine and Bill. He drove down Bill and didn't stop. Didn't take off, but just was slow to stop. Turned up here and stopped.
Another statement.
Right where Linda Schmidt is.
This guy's given 14 statements in 2 minutes.
My left arm hurts a little bit. I got drugged by the car.
Are you hurt? We got another sergeant coming up from another agency. Now, I'm thinking this is their jurisdiction. At least he checked on the officer instead of you hurt. Again, don't believe an officer when they tell you it's not hurt. It's like somebody's been in a car wreck and they get out and say, I'm not hurt. Do you want to see medical? Call medical and let a medical look at him. If they end up going home and having whiplash or a heart attack or a stroke, and you're going to be explaining, well, when you showed up, didn't you know it was a major accident? The car was totaled. They both had to be towed. Why didn't you call medical? Well, the guy told me he wasn't hurt. Well, did you think maybe he was in shock from being in an accident where both the cars were totaled? Well, I didn't really think that. He told me he wasn't hurt, so I didn't call medical. Come on, people.
He took off on me, got my hand stuck inside the car. And
Another statement. He took off on my hand was stuck inside the car. So who's in charge of this crime scene? This sergeant or this sergeant? I don't know.
You know, it's trying to
my car's down there. No.
Are you hurt? Do you need a tire?
My left arm hurts a little bit. I'm going to have to get checked out, but...
I'll get a 4225. We have fire response on this location. An injured UCO.
Okay, I'm about 25 minutes here on this video, so I'm going to make a 4. That one's going to be like 2 minutes because I stopped it in between. But I'm going to let this play off and I'll continue again. If you're still with me, great. If not, that's okay. I'm going to stop this here and go for number 4.